I'm gonna ask the tarot about Nolan Wells, a young man that disappeared and was later found dead. A lot of speculation about what happened. A lot of angry folks and a lot of conspiracy theories about the disappearance and the death of this young man on a boat trip to an island. This is solely for entertainment purposes. We see here that the journey began as something ordinary but unfolded into a situation that demanded accountability and truth. At the heart of this, there's a balance between truth and justice. There's a call here for integrity, responsibility, and accountability. The events surrounding this young man's death suggest that the full story is not visible. It's not immediately visible. There are important details that appear to have been concealed, omitted, or misunderstood at first. But what is hidden doesn't remain hidden forever. There's also here a balance between power and wealth. A woman from the local community, let's say the countryside, from a community, she appears as an influential figure who knows how to project and control her personal space. At the same time, she is shown as someone who relies on mistrust, self-defense, and when it's necessary, this woman uses betrayal as a personal advantage. The atmosphere here is that of a zero-sum game where every decision is weighed against its risks and rewards, and one person's gain comes at another's expense. There's a connection here to a church, or members of a clergy appear to play a role in understanding the broader circumstances. Someone either sought or gave advice through a priest or a bishop, and this interaction may later become significant through recorded evidence, whether in videos, audio recordings, or documented materials. Now there's an atmosphere here that is emotional, one of fear, anxiety, growing pressure, decisions made under stress, combined with poor judgment and failures of responsibility. And that has contributed to the unfolding tragedy here. There's a sense here that preventable mistakes allowed events to escalate beyond control. The reading here also shows the destruction of something connected to a dark hair or dark complexion man who was depicted deeply negative and apathetic state. Burning of evidence or the destruction of something connected to the dark complexion man. He's associated with a motorcycle or wearing armor. This man appears to be careless, nonchalant, and inclined to spend excessive time sleeping or withdrawing rather than confronting his responsibility. Here, the journey itself becomes a turning point. It becomes really the decisive turning point. What should have been a simple trip instead became the final chapter of this young man's life. before the end, we could see that the reading indicates conflict, hostility, and a breakdown of cooperation. There are signs of anger, unrest, small groups separating from one another, creating disorder and divisions. There are going to be acts motivated by revenge or retaliation. Another woman emerges whose attention is centered primarily on material gains. This woman has tendencies of excess, vanity, and arrogance. She might have red or brunette hair. She appears burdened by financial imbalance or the exploitation. This woman looks to be in debt, victim of usury and unequal financial arrangements. This reading also reveals prejudice, slander, libel, dishonor circulating among those connected to the events, rumors, judgments are clouding the truth. People need to make a careful reflection because it's necessary before conclusions can be reached. Much of this appears to unfold within the context of a large gathering or public assembly where many people are present or where multiple witnesses may hold pieces to a larger story. Water dominates the conclusion of this reading, symbolizing both physical setting and emotional culmination of the events. It represents a moment of which everything reaches irreversible end. This reading here does not portray a simple or peaceful accident. It shows here hidden circumstances, emotional turmoil, failures of judgment, a possible conflict, fractured loyalties, unanswered questions, the ultimate call for the truth, accountability, and justice. That is all.